Operation Food Secure is a hunger relief initiative started by the Topeka Rescue Mission in partnership with United Way and the city of Topeka. And really it's a network of dozens and dozens of partners in the community and in Northeast Kansas delivering rescued and recovered food the last mile across our region. The food originally started with the USDA Farmers to Families Food Box program. That's a national initiative that went across the country to recover all the food from the shutdowns. And then our group took this on and built a network to actually deliver that as close to people in need as possible.
Yeah, so in the middle of March 2020, we gathered together some of our important partners at United Way, some of those partners that we give dollars to, but also some of those partners that we work closely with. And we asked them a series of questions, and we asked what we might do. And the last question we asked was probably the most important question. The question that we asked was, what do you need from us? What do you need from United Way of Greater Topeka? And those partners looked at us through a Zoom call, one of our first Zoom calls that we had, and they said, we need this. We need you to gather us together, and it can't be once a month. It's got to be more frequent than that. Just so happened that that first time we met with them was on a Tuesday. So we looked at our calendars and we said, what about Tuesday at 3? And that really began these Tuesday meetings, these COVID-19 response and coordination meetings that they came to be called.
So come the end of 2020, in December, Operation Food Secure was facing a commodity cliff. The USDA program, the Farmers to Families program, was running out of funding, and there was no sign whether that funding would be renewed or not. So we were looking at a short-term, at least, gap in food supply at the height of the pandemic when hunger was at its peak and we were facing unprecedented demand both at Operation Food Secure.
We've had folks from across the spectrum who have come together to problem solve. And really that's what we do in that group.
So in the COVID call, Miriam Crable, my boss, mentioned this and shared this with the stakeholders on the call.
So I learned about Operation Food Secure in the Tuesday COVID-19 calls that United Way hosts. And before that I had not heard anything about the program, and Miriam was discussing how the Topeka Rescue Mission was helping get that up and running.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield approached us the next week asking more questions about our program and what we were trying to achieve.
So we definitely saw with the COVID-19 pandemic that across our service area, food insecurity increased as well as isolation. And so as we looked at how we could provide funding through our Blue Health initiatives, which do aim to improve quality of life and health outcomes across the state, we recognized that food insecurity was a really big piece of that, and that was a way we could help contribute to the response for the pandemic.
The gap in the Farmers to Families Food Box program only ended up being a couple of weeks, but it was phased out at the end of May this year. So thankfully, because of Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we were able to not only fill the gap in January during the Farmers to Families, the break in Farmers to Families, but we were able to continue our program all the way through August 13th, when most organizations across the country participating had to end at the end of May.
I do not think the Topeka Rescue Mission would have come directly to me for assistance. But when I heard that there was going to be a gap in funding, it was really the perfect fit. So absolutely, the Tuesday call was why I learned about it.
United Way's stakeholder calls during the COVID pandemic were invaluable. They brought together people from all sorts of different service agencies, nonprofits, the education field, healthcare field, to collaborate, resource share, and have a common vision and mission during the pandemic, during an incredibly tumultuous time.
And with our Blue Health Initiatives work, we are trying to understand how we can be a strong community partner, how we can improve long-term health outcomes. And what's great about this call, especially in a pandemic where things were moving quickly and nobody quite knew what we were doing, being able to hear across the room what partners' needs were, what people were experiencing, kind of really getting a good broad picture of how our community was impacted, helped inform our decisions, and also helped us kind of understand what we might also be seeing across our service area. So it really did provide a really great opportunity to stay engaged, to hear where we could actually make an impact, and really, again, understand what our communities were experiencing. So having United Way lead that, having that collaborative approach was fantastic for us as a community partner.